And happy Sunday, Central Georgia. We had such a great morning here for our 2-hour show this morning. It is also officially, I think, Blueberry Month. So we had a fun time at the end of the show and did our little blueberry Krispy Kreme tasting. So it's just been a great start to today, and hopefully it ends up being a really great end to your weekend. So we're gonna dive into the forecast. Nothing too crazy for today. We do have an SPC level 1 risk for maybe some stronger storms this afternoon and evening. Overall, we're not looking at anything else too crazy, but we do have a pattern change as we head into tomorrow and next week. So if you really like that full summertime heat, it is coming back, but it does bring a decrease in our rain chances. So we'll take a look at temperatures, future view, looking at a few showers that did move through this morning, and what to expect for the rest of your Sunday and how to kick off your following work week. So we'll go ahead and take this full. And this morning wasn't too bad. Yesterday we had a very gloomy scene to start off our Saturday, but Sunday we woke up to at least some sunrises this morning. It was absolutely gorgeous. It was in between the breaks of the clouds. So we did wake up with lots more cloud cover. And because we did have a bit more breakage in the cloud cover last night, some places did wake up in the very low 70s, so a little bit cooler. There was also a little bit of a decrease in the humidity early this morning, so stepping out the door wasn't too bad. Now we're seeing an increase in humidity, so it feels like temperatures are going to start to climb with the actual temperatures as we head into the afternoon. Current temperature in Warner Robins is 82, feels like 88. We do have a winds of 10 miles per hour. We'll take a huge look at current temperatures across the U.S. As we do head into the following week, you may see some headlines of some record-breaking temperatures throughout most places within the Southeast and the Midwest. And for us, it's looking like we'll be reaching probably the warmest temperatures we've seen all year long. And we'll take a look at the whole glimpse of temperatures for the month of July. But overall, warmest spots right now are in Wichita, Oklahoma City. We're in the mid to upper 80s. For us within the Southeast, you can still see where that stationary front is laid across the Southeast and that dip that it has right here within our region. So we do have winds coming out of the northwest, and temperatures overall closer are starting to pick up a little bit more. So mid to upper 70s towards our western counties, and then the farther east that you live, we're already in the low 80s. 81 in a few spots, 82 in Dublin, 82 in Gordon, Milledgeville, and I think our coolest spot right now is 77 in some of our eastern counties. And that was due to a couple of showers we had this morning. We're not used to seeing some really early showers. We're so used to that summertime pattern of those afternoon pop-up showers and storms. But with this front kind of stationed and just stalled right on top of us, it did fire up a few showers earlier this morning. We do have some winds today and some wind gusts of up to 25 miles an hour. So there's a wind gust currently in Eastman of 24, Butler and Dublin of 18 miles per hour. So this might give you a little bit of relief as well, since later today, especially if you stay dry, temperatures will really start to warm up and it will feel a lot warmer. It will actually feel a bit toasty. Humidity earlier this morning was in the low 70s. We're starting to see a little bit more of an increase to the mid and upper 70s. So it does feel muggy as you step outside. I took a little bit of a break outside and definitely came back inside for some air, just because it did feel a little bit muggy. So that is driving some of those feels like temperatures already as we head into midday in a couple hours. So it feels like the mid to upper 80s. The farther east that you live, it feels like 92 in Gordon, 90 in Dublin. But in places to our west, you notice, you kind of see the divide, the 80s and then those 70s. And where those 70s lie is where we saw some of those morning showers earlier this morning. So they're taking a little bit longer to warm up as we go throughout the day. You can expect heat indices still to climb to the mid to upper 90s, low 100s, so 101 around there. We're not seeing any heat advisories for today, but as we do have a pattern change and we are going to be turning up the heat as we go into the following week, you can really expect a few days actually of some heat advisories. And I'll give us a look at our future view and you'll be shocked. The entire state will actually feel like we're in the triple digits. So it's definitely probably the main story as we go into the work week. Overall today, we do see an increase of temperatures as we go into the rest of the weekend. Well, we finish out the weekend and kick off the work week. A little bit warmer today, 92 degrees. It will feel like 100 and plus if you stay nice and dry and receive some of that sunshine and with all the moisture present, but you could feel some relief from a scattered and isolated shower or storm, just like we saw yesterday. So the forecast that we had for yesterday, kind of a repeat situation for today as we end the weekend. So scattered showers and storms for today, a drier start as we head into next week. And you'll notice the future view for once doesn't have a ton of pop-ups. It has some very, very small and very isolated chances. So we're decreasing that rain chance, especially on Monday and Tuesday, and we'll be cranking up the heat, especially by the midweek next week. So we'll take a look, especially at the 7-day for that. Our surface map right now, the closer we look, we kind of see some of those winds coming in from the northwest, lots of showers. And if we zoom out, that low pressure system is just on the border of us in South Carolina. And overall, this will start to move by late today, tomorrow, into tomorrow morning. So once this moves, this will take a lot of the rainfall that we do have right now and kind of push it out towards the coast. And you can kind of notice some of it right here. So this will continue to dip down and kind of move out along the coast. So we do have the possibility of showers and storms. This is the lifting mechanism for it. So that key ingredient, one of the key ingredients that we do have with thunderstorms is that lift. So this is our mechanism of lift for today. And if we zoom in a little bit closer, we have just some very light pesky sprinkles and very light showers overall. A lot of this the last couple hours did give us some showers for our far western counties. So earlier this morning, places like Upson, Crawford, Taylor, Macon, all the way down to Dooley, did see some very light and steady showers. It did taper off. So as we go into the next couple of hours, we'll stay mainly dry, and then the early afternoon hits, we'll start to see those pop-ups yet again. So we'll go through our future view, and I think I put enough pause points for us to kind of see how it will time out for the rest of today. So by midday, you could expect some of those to continue to taper off, but by the early afternoon, you see kind of like that boiling pot of water. They'll start to pop up, not exactly in these spots, but you could always expect one of these really heavy downpouring pop-up showers throughout the afternoon. So you may want the rain gear handy. And on this run, it has at least these showers and storms coming together and moving away. Earlier today, we did have on the run this morning, a lot of these were bundled up and had almost showed a little bit of an echo. So depending on the next couple of runs, if this little batch right here, I think this is the indication why the SPC put out a level 1 for just some really gusty winds and some heavy downpours for today. This run has it kind of moving out a little bit sooner, not coming together and not being as organized, but we still have obviously the possibility of showers and storms, and one of them being probably a little bit stronger. So that's what we can expect for the rest of today. That will move out. And then we kick off our work week. This is where the pattern change really starts. So a mainly dry day, you could expect 1 or 2 of these little sprinkles throughout the day. I put a 10% on the 7-day, and meteorologist Ansley Parker will be here in the morning, and depending on the runs, if it's giving it a little bit more, we do have some disturbances in the atmosphere that the graph isn't picking up as much that might bring a few more pop-ups like this within our region. So that's something we could expect for tomorrow, but a lot drier than we've been experiencing. Same thing goes for Tuesday, some cloud cover, and it kind of breaks up and we have still little small sprinkle chances, but we kind of see all of this right here. And As we go throughout the afternoon and evening, some of those MCSs, what we call those waves in the atmosphere in the upper levels, aren't really depicted as well on the graph. So we could possibly see that pop up here, but for now, what the graph is showing us is a mainly dry start to our week. As we go into the second half of the week, on Wednesday to Thursday, we have that front right there. I don't know if you noticed it, but this moves out and it brings us a lot of drier air, and we'll have a ridge of high pressure kind of sit over us for a few days, and it will limit a lot of rain chances throughout the week. So we're not looking at a huge rainy week next week, but by the time we get into the weekend, it looks like rain chances start to collectively come back. You can kind of see some of the Euro and the GFS trying to come up with something and bring us some rain chances for the weekend. So it looks like the start of the week will be dry. Towards the middle of the week, I think will be mainly dry, and as we head into the weekend, that's when the next front, the next system will probably bring us some more showers and storms. Overall, the humidity will probably be the thing you notice the absolute most. It is very muggy today, very much like yesterday. It'll take a downtick as we go into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That front moves through, brings so much dry air. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday will feel absolutely amazing. And I say that because temperatures are on the rise this week. So with really high actual temperatures around the mid to upper 90s and lots of humidity, it becomes very, very oppressive. And those feels like temperatures then climb to very dangerous levels. So by the end of the week, this hopefully should bring us some relief to our feels like temperatures, so we're not feeling that oppressive heat for the entirety of the week. Overall, for the month of July, we've been kind of in a half and half situation. Lots of below average days, above average days, a couple of days where the Macon Regional Airport was at the reader was down, so we didn't have a couple of our days, but that week was below average, kind of like what we talked about yesterday. So yesterday we had a high of 90, so we had lots of cloud cover yesterday, some showers and storms, so it didn't allow temperatures to climb too much. As we go into today, I think we'll be a little bit warmer, and then afternoon highs this week will climb a bit more. I definitely forgot to edit this graphic, but the numbers are correct, the bars are not. When we edit our graphics, we do have to edit every individual piece. So a lot of work goes into putting these forecasts together. I forgot to edit this one. I did edit the heat indice one. But temperatures today, low 90s, will start to creep into the mid 90s. We'll see 97 on Tuesday, 96 on Wednesday, 95 on Thursday. So the Climate Prediction Center is on key with a lot of what the models are showing us, and we'll see above normal temperatures to end July as we go into the last week. So this is officially the last weekend of July. It's actually super crazy to say because it feels like the year is just flying by. 7 months already. As we end the month of July and kids are starting to get ready for school, it is going to be quite warm. So we're looking at above normal temperatures, and we definitely see that on our 7-day in the next coming days. We still have not had our first 100-degree day yet, and we keep bringing this up just as a reminder because the average time that we usually do see that 100-degree day is around July 2nd. Today is July 26th. The earliest has been May 26th, and then the latest has been September 18th. So maybe around the end of July, early August, is the possibility maybe that we could see this 100-degree day, but it's always something we want to keep in mind. Our hottest day of the year so far was 97 degrees on July 4th. This week we're projected to be in those mid to upper 90s, so we could either match or surpass that and reach maybe some of the warmest days of the year so far. So the heat is definitely something we want to keep on the back of our minds as we go into this following week. Heat indices as we head into this afternoon, if you don't get one of those passing showers and storms, can reach up to the low 100, 102. And then as we go into the morning, you'll start to notice some warmer mornings as well. So mid to upper 70s tomorrow morning. By tomorrow afternoon, we're looking at around 104, 100 degrees in Dublin. And then as we go into the morning, I think I missed a pause point right here, but for the mornings on Tuesday, around low to mid and then upper 70s. By Tuesday, a very, very hot day. We're looking at heat indices around 108 degrees. And if you notice, the entirety of Georgia will feel extreme heat. So I will say there is most likely going to be some heat advisories for a couple of days. So something we really want to keep in mind if you're spending time outdoors, kind of getting the last little bits of the pool and outdoor plans from summer before school starts, something to really keep in mind will be that it will be really, really hot this week. So overall, that's kind of the main story that we have for everything this week. Decreased rain chances as we go into the beginning of this week, and then the heat does come back, and not only for us, but in places like Albany and some parts of Georgia could see some record-breaking heat. Taking a look always at a glimpse of hurricane season, still not any major updates. We've only had 2 names crossed off so far in the 2026 Atlantic season, and they were both tropical storms, Arthur and Bertha. The next one would be Cristobal. And overall, the tropics are very, very quiet. Just a quick look at the Gulf, because we always want to make sure we're checking this every day. You never know when a disturbance might be noticed, and the National Hurricane Center may notify us of something, but we're very quiet in this region, and especially in the Atlantic. Lots of Saharan dust is coming off the west coast of Africa, suppressing any type of development. So no activity is expected within the next week. So the only thing we do have to focus on is the heat, especially as we go through the following week. So for the rest of today, what you can expect is, oh, and I forgot to show us this. Okay. I thought I added it in here. I added it in my full weather earlier today. We do have a level 1 risk for today. So this was something I totally forgot to put in between the graphics. So we do have a level 1 risk portioned out for our eastern portions today. And you can kind of notice it's mostly grasped all the way up the coast, up South Carolina, North Carolina. So any storms later today could be a little bit stronger in terms of wind gusts and some heavy downpours and lots of frequent lightning. And I know some of the storms that we've been receiving recently has had a lot of these criterias. So especially yesterday, I mean, I went to the grocery store and I was driving home and it was dry one moment, and while I was driving on 75, it downpoured like never before. So those passing hit or miss showers are yet again what we can experience for today. So you may want to have the umbrella just in the car or in handy in case you are doing something like groceries or leaving church and you may get one of these passing showers and storms. But overall, this will start around the early afternoon and evening. Not everybody will see it, but the possibility is still there. So that's what we can expect for the rest of today. Temperatures will be on the rise starting today. So 92 degrees. And as we kick off the work week, mid to upper 90s. Like I said, our last 97-degree day was on July 4th. So we could match that on Tuesday, or as we go into the week. Some of the models actually have us much higher than this, so that could be the possibility for some people across central Georgia. So it will be a very, very hot week this week. I'm gonna bring myself back on camera just so I can kind of just finish up and you guys can see me before I say bye. But for the rest of today, typical summertime pattern, scattered showers and storms. But if you do stay dry today, it will be nice and toasty. We can expect that as we go throughout Monday and Tuesday. We have a much drier trend for the first half of the week, and it looks like the models come together for next weekend, but it's a little too early to tell for that. We just know for certain that we will have some possible heat advisories for not just one day, but for multiple days, and the heat does return. So for an average temperature in July, we usually are around 93, 94 degrees. So this will be a lot warmer for us throughout the week. So I'm going to leave it on our 7-day because I'm looking at our radar and it looks like everything has tapered off and will probably pick up within the early afternoon. So Braylon Hardy will be here tonight. He has the 6 and the 11, and Ansley Parker will be here tomorrow morning, and she'll have your next extended forecast at 11 a.m. tomorrow. So Hope you have a great end of your weekend. It is Sunday. Enjoy the dryness that there is. You may get caught under maybe a passing shower or so, but overall, just like yesterday, I saw lots of people walking around the river crossings and lots of food trucks across central Georgia. So enjoy everything before school starts and we kind of get back to our really busy schedules. But I'm going to bring us back to the 7-day, or actually, we'll just bring us back to the radar, because there is a couple of showers that have tapered off just outside the region, and if I kind of loop it, we'll have an idea of kind of where this front has stalled out. But the front should be out hopefully by later today, and we'll start the week nice and dry. So I'm gonna leave this on here for you guys. Have a great rest of your Sunday and get some rest and enjoy it before a busy work week up ahead.